Good afternoon. Let's try this again because I did this maybe 20 minutes ago or so and it didn't work out. Something was going on with my internet, so hopefully it's good this time. But I've been wanting to talk about a certain topic for a while now, but with things that have been going on in my life and just whatever, I've been forgetting. And things that have just been going on in the world. So I've been forgetting, but I was watching YouTube earlier and I really like to watch mukbang. So one of the girls was talking about like mental health and how people are constantly judging other people, like criticizing their every move, and you not knowing who may have a mental illness. And like one thing you may say could push a person over the edge, make them fall into a deeper depression or feel more suicidal or whatever the case may be. Trigger their bipolar illness, whatever it could be. This video is not for sympathy. This video is not for pity. This video is not for me to be judged or for anybody else to be judged, because I feel like mental health illness is just not talked about enough and not taken serious enough, and people are teased about it. People are like told in certain cultures like, oh, there's nothing wrong with you, or stop crying, or just constantly being made to feel like, you know, I don't even know how to explain it. Not a lot of people understand or even try to understand how their words or their actions can really affect someone. Not because the person wants it to affect them, it just affects them. You understand? So again, mental health is not talked about enough. People are criticized about it. People are made to feel like they're too sensitive, too emotional, too this, too that. And I don't really talk about things with me. Like, I talk about things that I don't mind you guys knowing or whatever, but I don't talk about certain things because I don't want to be criticized or judged or made to seem like I'm making something up, or like I want to play victim or have your pity. But I first and foremost can say mental health illness is real. I've seen it in other people. There's a lot of people that do not want to seek help because either they feel ashamed, embarrassed, whatever, or they're made to feel like in their culture that mental health doesn't exist or mental health illnesses don't exist. And I feel like that's pretty sad because no one can tell you what's going on in your head, or no one can tell you how to really deal with things. And some people may feel like, well, hey, you're not on medication, so how do you have an illness? Listen, there's a lot of people, I love you too. There's a lot of people out there that do have mental health illnesses and they don't want to take medication, or they're scared of it, or whatever the case may be, right? So I've been in situations where, like long ago, I always knew that something, like I was different from a lot of my friends, not just maturity factor, not just how I thought, not just how I conducted myself or how I carried myself, but it was also just like my brain, I guess, the way that I thought and the way that I would feel things deeper and the way that I would deal with things, right? So to other people that are not exposed to mental health illnesses or have not seen it, grown up around it, felt it, gone through it, have it, they look at you like you're dumb or like you're like some dramatic, sensitive, emotional, crazy, annoying person, right? But all those comments, all those side looks, all those remarks, they really hurt a person like me or like other people that have even more severe mental health illnesses. But I've gone through life just being different in some of the best ways and in some of the more, not necessarily like problematic ways, but in ways, and also some ways that people just don't understand. So they pick at you or they turn their back on you because they feel like you're being a certain way and they can't handle you. But instead of trying to understand you or understanding that they too could also be a little tough to deal with, they just focus all of that negativity on you and put you under a microscope and make you feel like you're the problem or whatever. But who's to say you're not the problem, or who's to say that your way of thinking is too small-minded or too ignorant? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I've gone through life, and I'm sure a lot of other people have that have depression or suffer from bipolar disorder or, schizophrenia or many suicidal ideations and attempts and just always feeling misunderstood and unloved. But I've gone through things early on and didn't really quite express myself the best ways. Like I would just hold stuff in and just walk around as if, hey, someone picks on me, this person doesn't want to be friends with me anymore, whatever, fine. This person's rude to me, this person always gets on me, this person, this guy don't want me, just held it in, walked around, whatever. Cool. Things that were going on at home when I was a kid, whatever, fine. But when I came into myself more and promised myself to stand up for myself and whatever, as soon as I opened my shell, I was criticized even more. And I had friends that would not always, but like I could have fun with, I could go out to the clubs with, fine, talk about stupid stuff. But when it came down to like really needing people to have my back or for people to try to understand me, just even try, they wouldn't. They would make it seem, like I said earlier, like I was too difficult or too this. And I hate that people do that to other people. You're telling someone else that they're too this and too that, but how do you know you aren't? So it's a lot of finger pointing or a lot of name calling or a lot of criticism, but no one ever seems to look at themselves. So anyway, I was made to feel like that a lot. Also by my siblings, by boyfriends, by friends, whatever. Pretty much mostly everybody. And people have turned their backs on me. So as I got older and, going through things, still, of course, we all go through things. I know that. But people deal with them differently. So you may go through the same thing that I'm going through, the exact same thing. But you may not you're not going to handle it the same way because you don't have a mental illness or you just handle it differently. You People also, what people tend to do is they tend to compare or tend to push how they would deal with something on you. And then it starts to make you feel like, damn, I'm freaking weak. Damn, I'm this. Damn, I'm that. And a person shouldn't ever have to feel like that, because God made us all differently. Whoever you believe in or whoever you think created us, whatever, that person, that being made us all differently. We handle things differently. And if you have a mental illness, you definitely handle things differently. And there's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong is people making you think and people making you feel constantly that there is something wrong with that. So yeah, I had friends like that. But as these people, I see stuff now. People grow older, and now that they're going through things that really are like traumatizing things, then they want to act like they're so enlightened and they know so much about mental illness, and that they have a mental illness, or that they're so depressed, and they post about it, and they, make it seem like they understand it so much. But when I was hanging around them, or when I was trying to get them to understand, or trying to just feel loved, or feel like, okay, this is how I am. Yes, you can offer your positivity or whatever, but I really just need you to be there. I just need your time. I just need to know that at the end of the day, if I need you, you'll race over to me, as I have for other people. But it's interesting to see certain people like post things that had really no care or no common human decency to really think about what that their friend was going through, whether it was me or someone else they were friends with that may have had depression or whatever. And there's all different types of depression. There's depression that just comes when you go through stuff, and then there's depression that's there throughout your life, right? So I have had friends like that and people like that in my life. Like, in every event that's happened that's, caused heartbreak in my life or trauma or whatever, each time something has happened, it showed me a lot of who I was really hanging around with. Like when my dad passed, and in relationships, for example, the heartbreak, we all go through heartbreak, but again, it's how you deal with it. I don't deal with heartbreak the way you deal with heartbreak. You may throw yourself into work, and that may work for you. But there's people out there that really get so depressed that they cannot even get out of bed. Nothing is pushing them to get out of bed. So really walk light, tread lightly with how you approach people. And it's not to say necessarily walk on eggshells, but you have to be mindful. If you call this person your friend, or if you try to act like you care about humans in general, then care about humans. Whether you had beef with them or not. I had this one person, we didn't really talk like that. The things that she has said that I've done to her, to me, literally, and I've read the text messages over and over again, it just doesn't make sense. But I have legit, justifiable, credible things that this person has done to me. And we didn't speak, but when this person went through something, oh my God, I was there in a heartbeat. As if nothing ever happened. That's the type of friend I am. But when my dad passed away, and then now that Junior's passed away, it's like no one's anywhere to be found, right? Not even just a shoulder to lean on. So someone like me who suffers from depression, diagnosed with it, yes. I'm not on medication. I haven't been recently evaluated, but a couple of years ago I was diagnosed, and certain things happened and transpired or whatever. And I'm not necessarily embarrassed to say it, but there was not really anybody there for me like that. The only people that were really there for me was my son's dad's mom and my son's dad's aunt. And my sister here and there. And sort of my mom. But certain people I don't talk, we just don't talk anymore. And a lot of these things have shown me. But I say all this to say, please be mindful what you say to people. You never know when you can throw somebody over the edge. You never know, like, what a person is going through. Like, over the last couple of years, I've known my son's dad for a long time. We've been dealing with each other on and off for many years. Over the last couple of years, I have to admit, I started to get meaner to him because I just felt like, oh my God, like, you have a good woman. Even if we're not together, you have a good friend, and you treat me like this, but then the females that dog you out, you run after. That just always boggled my mind. So I started to get mean towards him, and I know I was, and I would always feel bad for it. Like, I would tell his mom, man, I feel so bad. Like, I do have a conscience. Like, I do have a heart, and a lot of people don't have either of those. But I would say stuff in the moment, and I would feel really, really bad. But I always made it a point for me to try to always tell him I love him, and I still do. And I still try to encourage him, though, no matter how much he's hurt me, especially during my pregnancy. That's what really made me start being mean to him, is because how he treated me during my pregnancy with our child. But you have to be compassionate towards people. Like, man, you just never know what someone is going through. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never, ever, ever know. And sometimes with someone acting out, it could be their cry for help. It could be a cry for them wanting you to just spend time with them, just to be there. Sometimes people don't. Like me, sometimes when I'm going through stuff, I don't like to just talk on the phone. I need a person with me. And I've never really had much of that. Like, oh, Shayna, I know you're going through something. Let me come stay the night at your house. Or let me come by you and hang out with you for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I never had that. I was always that person. Always, 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 always. So, yes, I'm exhausted, but I still try to be that person to people. Though I really don't have friends, to be honest with you. Not these days. And it's not because I've done people wrong. Sorry, they're painting, like, the building, and there's a guy standing, like, right there. I don't know if you could see him. Where is he? Right there. Can you see? No? Let me see. Can't see. Oh, God, but he's rolling up. Oh, Jesus, I don't know. I don't want you guys to think I'm going crazy. I don't know if you could see. See? But yeah, so I just want to say this stuff to talk about mental health and whatever, because like I said, it's not talked about enough. And we as people need to stop criticizing and stop making someone feel like they're too much. Like, I was told I'm too loving. I was told I'm too sensitive. I was told I was difficult to have conversations with because, you know, I go deep with my conversations. I was told that I'm too emotional. But like all these things that have been said to me that I'm too much of, those aren't negative things. But people try to twist it and make it seem like that's negative. Like, I don't understand. What's wrong with being loving? Like, this world needs people that, excuse me, oh, I spit. This world needs people that are loving. This world needs people that have emotions. Yes, you need balance within yourself. And I'm constantly working on that every day, like every day. But this world needs people to have a conscience, to have a heart, and for people to make me and people like me to feel like it is bad to be loving, or it is bad to think deeply, or to love deeply, or to have feelings. Like, oh my God, what is wrong with people these days? I don't understand. But I can say the same about people that pretend to be too hard, or pretend to be, act like they don't have tears or they don't have feelings. Like, come on now. This world needs people to love. Like, I just don't understand. I don't understand. But just be careful with how you talk to people and how you act towards people and things like that. And I think that all of us need to carry a little bit more love in our heart towards the human race. People of all ethnicities, all walks of life, all looks, big, small, skinny, wearing glasses, not wearing glasses, muscular, not muscular, good fashion sense, not good fashion sense. It doesn't matter. We all need to love one another. I don't care if you're the most popular guy in the neighborhood, or the school or whatever. There needs to be more compassion in this world towards people as a whole. And I really feel for anyone that is suffering in silence, like I have many times, and that is suffering in silence worse than me. Because at the end of the day, we're all fighting battles. Some of us talk about some of them, some of us don't talk about any of them, and some of us talk about all of them. I choose certain things to talk about, but I just wish there was more compassion in this world. And I feel like people have learned things from their family, from their elders, or people let society control them to be hard, or to think that having love or feeling anything is bad, or to have any type of compassion for someone that is suffering inside is bad. And it's not. So we all need to care about each other and stop making fun of each other, and stop making it seem like having depression or bipolar or schizophrenia or suicidal thoughts or whatever is funny, or is not a big deal, or should be swept under the rug, or is non-existent, because it is all very, very, very real, very, very real, very, very real. So to anyone on here that is suffering, and like some of us do walk around with a smile, but we're not really happy inside, or we're partially happy, but there's a lot of things bothering us, or when we're in a crowded room, we still feel alone, like all those things. Things come in waves, whatever it may be. Just know that I am here for you. I can relate to you extremely. Like, I can really relate with you and to you. If you ever need to talk, I am here. If you ever, want to hang out or just need to vent or express yourself or just say, listen, I am really at my breaking point, or I'm really at the edge of the cliff. I need help. Reach out to me, or just even simply know that you may be physically alone in that moment, but you are not alone. And just know that you have someone that has your back, or you have someone that you can talk to. And yeah, this is, like I said earlier, this is something I've wanted to talk about for a while. But I just haven't yet. Different things going on in the world and in my life. But yeah, it's not always the best thing to tell someone, oh, get over it, or, oh, I've been through it before, you'll be okay, or whatever. Because in those moments, that person does not feel okay. And your comments could either make them fall deeper into a depression and make them overanalyze themselves even more, or it can maybe help them a tad. But in the end, all you really need to do is be a listening ear. And if you can go hang out with that person and spend time with that person, that's great too. But all that criticism, all that judgment, all that joking about this type of stuff, or all that thinking, oh my God, that person has a mental illness, there's something wrong with them, I can't be around them. That's just, excuse my French, but cut that shit out now. Okay? Yes, there's other things going on in this world. Yes, we are in a pandemic. Yes, we're in a racial, bad racial time. A lot of racial injustices. But this is also important to me for many reasons. And like I said, I've been wanting to talk about it. And I saw something this morning that reminded me that I need to talk about it. So, yeah. You all have a wonderful day. If I bored you, oh well. This topic is important to me. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with it. I don't care. Have a beautiful rest of your Wednesday. Be loving to yourself and to other people. Stay blessed. Stay focused. And as my son says, the word awesome, stay awesome.